There was solidarity among the Arab foreign ministers who gathered in Cairo on Thursday, and that was in response to the U.S. Embassy move to Jerusalem and Israel's actions against Palestinian demonstrators at the Gaza border. CGTN's Yasser Hakim has more details on that Arab League meeting.
The anger in the Arab world was reflected in the meetings of the Arab foreign ministers in Cairo, and it was evident in their speeches too.
We strongly condemn the targeting of Palestinian civilians by Israeli forces, and we demand that the international community take on its responsibility by stopping the violence and protecting the Palestinian people.
Top Arab League officials announced an action plan to counter what they described as a massacre against Palestinians and an illegal move of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem.
We consider the U.S. decision as null and void with no legal effect. It is rejected internationally, publicly and officially, now and in the future. We demand an international investigation for the crimes by the occupation forces in Gaza in the last few days, which resulted in the killing of more than 60 people.
This warning is meant to stop more countries from following the U.S. lead in moving embassies to Jerusalem. But will the moves here have impact?
This diplomatic procedure needs time to implement. It's an ongoing process, and we will go to the UN Security Council. If it is vetoed, we will go to the General Assembly. We will keep trying until the Arabs succeed.
An independent Arab fact-finding team will be deployed immediately in Gaza. Arab leaders here also want investigations of Israel's actions undertaken by the International Criminal Court and the United Nations. They say Israel is guilty of crimes against humanity for using live ammunition against Palestinian demonstrators armed with rocks and slingshots. Strong words and a powerful statement and resolution from the Arab countries. But what remains to be seen in the next few months is how it will be applied and whether it will be effective enough. Yes, Hakim for CGTN, Cairo.
Well, let's get you an update now on these latest developments. I'm joined from Gaza by our correspondent, Noor Harazin. Noor, of course, it has been a very dramatic week, and now we have more calls for mass protests in Gaza. Just give us an idea of what's happening there right now.
Well, until now, it's really calm in the Gaza Strip. There is a small number of people on the borderline on the border fence between Gaza and Israel protesting. However, the calls overnight and during the day yesterday was asking people to head to the borderline shortly after Friday prayer. Right now, people are inside the mosques ending their Friday prayer. So maybe in the next few hours, we will see a big number of people leaving their homes and heading to the borderline in order to continue the activities of the Great March of Return.
And how long do you think these activities, these protests might continue? Just how concerned are Gazans over the response and the actions of Israeli troops?
Well, of course they are concerned. I mean, after what happened on Monday, during the day, Palestinians inside the return camps along the borderline between Gaza and Israel started leaving and evacuating the camps because they feared what will come from the Israeli forces, especially after the big number of casualties. I mean, 61 people were killed, more than 2,500 were injured only in one day. So the Palestinian people were really concerned about the answer from the Israeli side. However, since day one, since the US President Donald Trump decided to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and to move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and the Palestinian people here in the Gaza Strip started organizing protests and going to the borderline, the activists came up with this idea of the Great March of Return, and even though they set the date 15th of May as the last date of this protest, however, they stated that they will keep on protesting every single Friday, even after the 15th of May.
And of course, as you mentioned, this is now the first Friday of Ramadan. It seems a rather tense start to the beginning of this holy month. What is the sense among people in Gaza going into Ramadan?
Well, Ramadan is a happy occasion for Muslims around the world, and at this time of year here in the Gaza Strip, we see people heading out to the streets, going to the shops, buying sweets and food and decorations, Ramadan decorations and lightning. However, this time you can really sense that the people are sad and devastated. The streets are almost empty, the shops are the same, they are empty. And this is not only because the people, some of them lost their loved ones during what happened on Monday, but because also the financial situation of the people here in the Gaza Strip. I mean, Hamas employees get paid once every 2 months, and the PA employees suffer from cuts from the PA and the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. So there are so many reasons that are affecting the people here. We can clearly say that the people this Ramadan are sad. However, they are hoping that the next days will bring them happy news.
Indeed, indeed. Well, thank you so much, Noor Harazin, joining us there live from Gaza.